There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to a successful print-on-demand business. We have niche, we have designs, we have store, we have ads. There's a lot to consider there. Well, since starting my print-on-demand focused community, I've been able to review and help hundreds of people with their stores. So I've personally looked at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different print-on-demand stores, and I can confidently say what works and what doesn't work. And on top of that, I also have my own print-on-demand store, which is where all of my information tends to stem from. I get between a 3 and an 8% conversion rate on my store. It's a very successful store, and I try and share everything that I'm doing with that store. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you the $1 million print-on-demand Shopify store blueprint. I'm going to share with you what the store should look like, what you should and shouldn't include, how to increase your average order value, which is really important, how to increase your conversion rate, go from 1% to 3% or 3% to 6%. That's quite a jump, but basically how to increase your conversion rate so that you get more sales with less people coming to your website. And I'm going to go through everything with you in this video. It's jam-packed with value, so listen closely, it's going to be really good. So starting with, we're going to explore the demo Shopify store that I made, which is modeled off of $1 million stores. So put it this way, there is a very specific style of store for print on demand, right? And I have created a demo store that is a carbon copy of it that you can see, that you can base all of your stuff on if you want. And we're going to go through that store page by page, and I'm going to show you exactly how it's built. Now, most people overcomplicate this or they get stuck, but truth be told, it's actually really simple. And when you see the store, you're probably going to be saying, nah, there's no chance. That store is far too simple to be making money, but it is. And that's the amazing thing. Simplicity sells every single time. Now, let me just quickly add, for a lot of people, you might not be selling with Shopify and Facebook ads or TikTok ads or something. Maybe you're doing print on demand on Etsy or Amazon, whatever you may be doing. This is specifically for those people that want to build a brand, they want to build a successful print on demand business that's scalable, and they want to use Shopify, or maybe they want to use WooCommerce or Wix or something else, whatever they want to use. It doesn't matter. But the point here is this is for people who want to build their own website and build an email list, a customer base, and build something that is infinitely scalable and that can be sold. So if you're selling on Etsy, there will still be value in this video for you, but it won't be so relevant to what you're doing. So let's start with this. It's all about the CR and the AOV. So CR is conversion rate and AOV is average order value. Two very, very important things. The conversion rate. Our average conversion rate, as I said, is around 3%, with 8% being our best. So if we look at my store over the period of the last year, it will say it's around 3%. If we look at my store at certain periods of time, it will go up to 4, 5, 6. And like I said, sometimes 8% being our best, which is amazing. And the reason why this is so important is because let's say you get 100 visitors to your store and your conversion rate is 1%. That means 100 visitors got you one sale. If those 100 visitors cost you $50, then technically it costs you $50 to get that one sale. If you can get your conversion rate to 2%, those same 100 visitors gets you 2 sales. If you can get it to 8%, which is what my max was, those 100 visitors got 8 sales. And that's like step 1, your conversion rate. Once you add your conversion rate to your AOV, and I'll explain what that is in a second, things start to really get exciting. So the average e-commerce conversion rate is 1 to 2%. So we're already over that, and I like to help people try and beat this average. And then you have AOV. AOV is the average order value, and our aim is 1.69, meaning each order is around $56. So 1.69, what does that actually mean? You can't buy 0.69 of a product. So what that means is for every customer that we get, on average, people are buying 1.69 products. They're not buying one t-shirt, and of course they're not buying 0.69, but it's an average over a lot of orders, right? So on average, people are spending let's just say 1.7 times. So a t-shirt costs them, $32.99. On average, we're selling 1.7, so our AOV is $56. The higher the AOV, the more valuable individual clicks are. So For argument's sake, let's say you have 100 visitors and those 100 visitors cost you 50 cents per click. So 100 visitors is costing you $50. Okay, $50. And then you've got, let's say, we're going to say you've got a 3% conversion rate. So then 3 people buy. Okay, 3 people buy at $32.99. So let's just say you have your AOV is 1, right? Basically, so your average amount of orders that people make when they make an order with you, the average amount of products they get is 1. So that's 3 people buy at $32.99. So we'll just say 33 for easier math, right? Which means that $50 is worth $99 in revenue. Revenue, remember, not profit, revenue. Because obviously 3 people buying at $33 is $99. And we got 3 sales because we have a 3% conversion rate, let's just say, on 100 people coming in, right? That's good and all, but bear in mind this is still going to have advertising costs, so we have to remove minus the $50, right? And then of course we have to minus the product cost as well. So the product cost can be maybe like $12 or $13 per item. So if it's $12 or $13 per item, you're looking at, $35 to $40 in product cost, right? So it will be about $35, but bear in mind this $99 we're also charging for shipping. So this actually will look a bit more like $112 minus 50 minus, let's just say 43-ish, right? So you are still left with some profit, but it's very, very, very minimal. Instead, we're going to talk about how to maximize sales in a second, but just to kind of help illustrate this, if your average order value is $56, you have 3% conversion rate. On average, people are spending $56, so that's going to make you $168, right? And it's still costing you the same $50 to get them in, and it's going to cost you a little bit more in production costs because that's more items being sold, obviously, but it'll be probably around like $70 or so, right? So you're making significantly more money on the same amount of people coming to your store, the same amount of ad spend, which is why it's so important to increase your AOV and increase your conversion rate, which is what hopefully you'll be able to do after watching this video. So we want the maximum number of sales for the minimum upfront effort and the minimum upfront cost. And this is why we keep our store super simple when starting out. So why do we do a simple store? Well, it's easier to launch, it has high conversions, and of course, as we said, it has a higher AOV. So now before going over the store and showing you page by page what our store looks like, let me tell you a couple of ways to increase your AOV. So number one is having a singular niche. So I see a lot of the time people will have on their store, the cat niche, the dog niche, the vacation niche, the parent niche, and they'll have all these different designs, and they think the more designs I put on my store, the more chance that someone's going to come and someone's going to buy. I want you to think of your avatar, your customer, the person who's coming to your store. I want you to put them in a box, right? And I want you to put them in a box that has a specific hobby or specific interest. So for example, if you have someone that likes fishing, right? They really like fishing. If they come to a fishing store, they'll buy one of your fishing t-shirts. If they see 3 or 4 fishing t-shirts they like, they'll buy it, right? If they then come to your store, if someone who likes fishing comes to your store and they see fishing, they see dogs, they see cats, they see exercise, they see golf, they see all these different things, they're not going to feel like they belong, as much as if it was just a fishing store. But on top of that, what might actually end up happening is different people will buy different things. So the way it works is you've got Facebook ads up here, right? So Facebook ads, right? And Facebook ads AI, or algorithm, whatever, will send people to your website, okay? And what Facebook is doing is it's learning who your customer is. So if you've got a website that's just selling fishing t-shirts, let's just say, Facebook over time will realize this type of person will come to your website and they are more likely to buy, and they will keep sending people who like fishing because they are more likely to buy. Where this can go wrong is if Facebook is sending people to your website and you have so many different niches and you have so many random people buying, Facebook won't be able to optimize your ads and send you more optimized traffic, right? So you're going to get people who will like dogs and golf and fishing and this and that, and the conversion rates won't be as good. Facebook won't really know who your audience is, and they won't be able to pinpoint it, which means you'll end up paying more for traffic. So that's just a very important side point on why having a singular niche is vital. But on top of that, having a singular niche means when someone comes to your store, if you have a singular niche and everything is fishing, someone who buys one fishing design, they are a passionate fishing person, they might very well buy a second, third, or fourth. But if you have dogs and cats and golf, they'll find that one fishing design, but it will be, it will be mixed in a maze of other designs. So they'll see the fishing, they'll be like, oh, I don't care about any of these other ones, and then they'll go and buy that one design. Maybe they'll spot another fishing one in the mess of designs, in the sea of designs there, and maybe they'll like that one as well and buy. But it's much more rare than just having them land on a page where everything is fishing and they see one and they're like, I like that. They like another one, they like another one, they like another one. And next minute, they've got 5 items in their basket and they're spending over $100 with you. So a singular niche, super important. Another way to increase your average order value is to have a cart progress bar. And this is just some psychological stuff, but basically when people add things to their basket, the cart will slide out. So we have a slide out basket, and then it has the list of items there, and I'll show that a little bit later. But basically at the top of that, you can have this indication where it says you are X amount away from free shipping. So $75 is the free shipping amount, and there's $9.02 left. So that can prompt them to be like, oh, I'm so close to free shipping, I'm just going to go and order one more. I'm going to go and add one more thing to my basket. And typically it's 3 items to get free shipping because it's 32, 32, and then obviously 32 will be up here. All right then, so frequently bought together, that's another way to increase your AOV. So underneath, and again, I'm going to show you this on the actual website, but just telling you a couple of the tactics up front. So on the product page where you have your product picture, your information, underneath that, you can have a customers also bought or a frequently bought together, however you want to word it. And then you can have various different products. Don't overdo this, by the way. You don't want to send your customer away from the page and send them off on a tangent of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You want them to get to the point, you want them to buy. So have a few products that customers also bought, and you could actually use the Shopify algorithm to actually put products that customers also bought there. Or if you're just starting out, you can use a custom collection page and put the custom collection page here, and you can just pick what customers also bought, whether or not they did or they didn't. And having this there just allows people to quickly add it to their basket as well. Bundles is massive. So again, I'm going to show you what this looks like, but on the product page, you can have bundles. And bundles basically allows people to see immediate discounts if they add more than one item to their basket, right? And what's going to happen there is they'll see, oh, if I just add 2, I'll get $2 off each. Oh, $3, 4. So then they kind of work out if they buy 4 items, then they're able to get $4 off each. They're basically saving $16, which is almost, no, it's not almost, it's half the cost of a t-shirt for them. So they're basically getting, half a t-shirt for free. You'll be surprised at how well this works. Since adding this bundle, our AOV jumped up, like massive jumped up. We went from, it was nearer the $42 AOV. It shot up to 48 when we did some of this stuff, and then it shot up to 56 when we added bundles. So adding bundles really helps. And we use an app for bundles called Deals Easy. Sorry, that's very hard to see. I'll pop something up over here. You've then got in-cart add-ons, also using the Deal Easy app. In-cart add-ons basically pop up underneath over here. So they'll pop up over there underneath the progress bar. And this looks something like this, right? Recommended products. And again, it's similar to the recommended products that you have on the product page, except now this is actually showing up in the basket. So they're just that one step closer to purchasing and checking out, except they see, oh, another t-shirt. So this is just an example plant, but they'll see another t-shirt there and they're like, oh, I really like that phrase. That's really, really funny. And it's a simple, so this says hanging basket, but it would be like a extra small, medium. They can choose the size and the color. And then it's just a simple add. They click this button and it gets added. Really, really, really easy. We have a lot of people who order like that. And then you've got the free shipping thresholds. So what we like to do to increase our AOV is to have as I said earlier, free shipping over $75. So if you spend $75, you get free shipping. I know it's a lot of money, and free shipping, well, shipping's only costing them $4 or $5 to begin with, but it's again one of those psychological things where you just spend $75, you get free shipping, and 3 t-shirts isn't an absurd amount of t-shirts to buy in one order. I mean, if anyone goes to a shopping center or mall, whatever, you tend to leave with more than one item, and if you're going for t-shirts, you'll tend to leave with more than one t-shirt. You'll probably leave with like 3, maybe 5 or 6 t-shirts. So having someone buy 3 t-shirts on your website, it's not unheard of. In fact, we very, very frequently get 3 sales or 3 orders from one person. So those are just some ways to increase your AOV, your average order value. Now let's talk about how to increase your CR, your conversion rate. Number 1, keep the website super simple. And I'm going to show you exactly what my website looks like in a second. But you want to keep it super simple. It's very easy to over-engineer a website, to add lots of different things, to add lots of different pictures, lots of different mock-ups, lots of different words. I've seen people have like entire essays on their product pages about the product. And I'm like, people aren't there to read a blog post about this product. They're there to look at the picture of what the product looks like and then buy it. Think about it like this. The importance of a product page, the image is the most important thing. It's what people will be drawn to. If they like the design, it doesn't matter what the description says. They've liked that design. The next thing you need to do is get them to pick a color, pick a size, and add it to their basket. You do not want to distract them by getting them to read an essay about why they need to pick this product. They've already picked it. And let me tell you, if they don't like the design, whatever you say in your description is not going to convince them to like that design, and they're not going to buy it. So what you wrote in your description is really not having such an impact, right? So keep your website super simple. Customer reviews. Now, this is a big one. And when I say don't fall into the trap, let me tell you what I mean by that. So obviously having custom reviews on your website is going to increase your conversion rate, right? Obviously, if you go to a store and you see 5,000 customer reviews, you're going to feel confident that you can trust that store. Now, this is where you don't want to fall into the trap. When you are just starting out, having no reviews is better than having a few reviews. And let me explain why. So let's say you have a store with 0 reviews, right? A customer will come to that store, they will find a product, they will decide whether or not they want to buy solely based on if they like the product and they can afford it, okay? And then they will buy. Their mind doesn't even go to reviews because they don't see any reviews. They don't think, I need to look at reviews for this store, because no reviews are popping up. So they don't get triggered with, oh, I must check the reviews. They don't see the reviews, right? Now, of course, we are aiming for impulse shoppers. We are not aiming for calculated shoppers. And I've got a video coming out about that. But basically, an impulse buyer is someone that sees something, likes it, and buys it within 6 or 7 clicks and within about 45 seconds, right? Whereas a calculated buyer, they might go and look at other websites. They might go to Amazon. They might go all over the place. And you've probably lost that customer anyways. So I wouldn't worry about them. But when they see no reviews, their mind doesn't get triggered by reviews. Now, if they see 5,000, that's quite a lot. Let's just say they see 127 reviews. They start to look at the reviews and they start to read through the reviews, and they are seeing too many reviews to go through, right? And that's kind of like the trick here. If it gets to a point where they're like, right, I get it. This has got good reviews. I like it. The design, I'm going to go buy it. I trust the website now. Then that's good, right? 127 reviews is lots of reviews. Let's say you have 3 reviews, right? Just 3 reviews. The reason why that negatively impacts conversion rate, and I'm not just saying this, by the way, it like for us anyways, I have tested this a lot. It negatively impacts conversion rate. And that's because 3 reviews aren't enough reviews to convince someone that they can trust a store and that enough customers are happy, right? But what 3 reviews is doing, it's triggering their mind to think about reviews. So they come to your website and they see there's 3 reviews and they're like, oh yeah, reviews. I should definitely check out if this website is legit before I go and spend money there. Let's have a look at these reviews. They see 3 and they're like, oh, well, that's a bit crap. Let me look on Google to see if there's anything else about this website. They're not going to find anything about your website. And then they start, it puts a seed of doubt in their mind, and they start to think, I don't really know if I want to be the 4th reviewer, basically. If I want to be obviously they don't think they're the 4th person, but they don't know if they want to be the guinea pig to a brand new store, right? And that's what happens when they see 3, which is why having 0 reviews actually has a higher conversion rate than having 3. Because when it's 0, they don't even their mind doesn't go to reviews. They just see a design, they like it, and they buy it. Now, for us, we added reviews to our website after we crossed 50. right? It seems like a lot of reviews, but it's really not that many. After 50 reviews, we turned them on. So obviously we had reviews on our website. We had the ability for people to leave reviews, but we weren't displaying the reviews. We had no review page. We had no reviews under the products. We weren't displaying them. We were just collecting them on the back end. And then when we were ready, we would, display those reviews. And we only did that after we crossed 50. And the reason we did 50 is because 50 reviews is too many reviews for someone to go through in a single sitting. Someone is not sitting through 50 reviews, and some will argue that 30 is enough as well. Even 27 is enough. There's a cutoff point, right? And we didn't test every cutoff point. That's the truth. We just went for 50. But at 50 reviews, you're not scrolling through. It's enough reviews for people to trust your website and to help them buy. And at 50, we saw a little bump in our conversion rate. Keep your site positive. Now, I'm saying this because I recently reviewed a website and I saw that they had some negativity on it. And it wasn't planned negativity. They were going for the positive angle, but it actually wasn't positive. Basically, on their page, they said, how does our product compare to others? They had their product, they had other products, and they were saying how cheap and rubbish other products were, and they were saying how good their product was. Now, in a way that looks like it could be good, because it's like, oh yeah, our product is so superior to other people's. But what that's doing is it's putting in people's mind, oh, I should go and compare your stuff to other people's stuff. And not only that, it's putting in people's minds negative things. Oh, there's a possibility that the products could have, it could be bad print, it could shrink in the wash, it could do all these negative things. And they start to think, well, maybe yours does do that. How can I trust you when you've made this comparison chart? Any company that makes their own comparison chart with another company is such BS. It's such rubbish. You can't trust a company to make their own comparison chart without them being biased. I mean, it's funny that companies think that they can put a comparison chart, people are going to trust it, when actually you're just thinking, you made this. Obviously, you're going to be biased. Obviously, you're going to say good things about you and bad things about them. So it's best just to not include it at all. Always keep your website positive. One thing that we did that was positive and that massively increased our conversion rate is add a charity. So for every item that someone buys, either, a bottle gets cleared up from the sea, a tree gets planted, whatever it may be. We went for the trees getting planted. So for every purchase, three trees get planted. And that's a positive thing. There's absolutely nothing negative about that. And someone comes, someone sees, someone likes, and they're like, I'm liking the vibe of this company. I like the positivity. And you're keeping that positive mindset in their mind for when they go and eventually purchase. Fast loading website. So this is obviously very important. You want to have your website loading fast. Again, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, not going to make the biggest difference. It's like when it's really slow, really slow, that makes a little bit of a difference. But again, because we're going for impulse purchases, impulse buyers, website speed isn't the most important. What is important is that it's fast enough for them not to lose interest. So with an impulse, let's say you've got this timeline. So they see, and then you've got like 30 seconds for them to buy. Right? And you want to keep them in there. You want to keep them in this mindset of like, I must buy. And you've got this time to do that. If a website is going to take, let's just say the website is going to take this long to load and they can't buy until here, there's a good chance that in this time of them waiting, they're then thinking, do I actually want this? Did I like it? Let me go back and have a look at it. Let's leave it, right? So you want your website to load fast enough that an impulse buyer doesn't lose their concentration and they buy. You, of course, want it to be mobile optimized. Mobile optimized is super important, especially if you're running Facebook ads. Majority of our viewers come from mobile. I think it's 94%. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. I haven't looked in the last week, but it's around 94%. And that makes sense because people are on Facebook on their mobile. They're scrolling on their phone. Very few people are using Facebook on desktop at this point, right? So if everyone's on their mobile, you need to ensure that when they click your link on your ad on Facebook, they're going to go to the mobile version of your website. You've got to make sure it's optimized and it looks good. So when you're creating your store, when you're doing the back end, when you're doing everything, and when you're running through and checking it and going through your funnel, do it on your phone as well as doing it on your computer so that you can ensure that it's going to be a good experience for people. And then 6, you want a bright call to action button. Call to action buttons are like checkout, add to cart, purchase now. Those are the 3 major ones. So you've got, starting with the first one is add to cart. and then you got checkout, and then obviously you got purchase. And you want them to be the same color. You want them to be a bright color. I know a lot of people who are like, no, actually, I'm gonna pick a color that's on my branding. So let's say their branding is like browns, various colors of brown, and then their add to cart button is like another variation of brown. It kind of blends in with the rest of the website. That is not immediately recognizable. Again, impulse buyer, you want them to immediately be able to spot that add to cart and buy it. You don't want to have to look around and find it. You don't want to stall. You don't want to stall anyone at all, right? You don't want them to stop and think. You want them to just buy. So having a bright color, a bright green, a bright red, maybe black if the rest of your website is a color and then black stands out. But having it something bright, ours is bright green, and you'll see down below. So by doing that, it makes it stand out, it makes it pop, and it makes customers immediately see it. Now, this is really important. And I wanted to just discuss this for a second because I know there's going to be questions here. So there isn't one path, okay? And if you're in any group, so you've got obviously my community, there are many other amazing communities out there. WeScales is Chris's community, you've got mine, which is Design Hub, and there's lots of other print on demand communities. And there's lots of different coaches in all these communities. And everyone will have different, everyone will say different things. And you can watch different YouTubers, they'll all say different things. Everyone is basing what they are saying on their experience, or I hope they are. There are obviously going to be some charlatans out there that are just making stuff up for the sake of whatever, who aren't really doing a print-on-demand business. I'm not going to name names, but for the most part, there are going to be people out there that you're watching on YouTube or the communities that you're in where they are giving you information based on what's working for them. That's not to say that other things won't work. And this is my point. You've got this path, which is the direct path, right? To me, this is what it feels like. So this is mine, right? And I'm not saying my path is the best. This is just what my path feels like because it's what I do. I go from A to B and it's successful, right? That's not to say there aren't lots of paths. So say, this is, I don't know, New York, and this is LA. There is not going to be one way to get from LA to New York. There is going to be lots of different routes going lots of different ways, right? And some are faster, some are slower, some of them are just the same speed, right? And you've got like various different stops and flags and things to do along the way. There's lots of different ways, right? And this is option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5, and there's endless options, right? My point here is there are so many ways that this can work. There are so many paths to go from point A to point B. So if someone else says, you should have this on your website, and I say, you shouldn't have it on your website, they're not wrong, I'm not wrong. We're both just sharing our own experience for what worked for us, okay? So you can do theirs and it can work. You can do mine and it can work. It just so happens that I don't like theirs. Maybe I tried theirs and it didn't work for me, so I'm not the biggest fan of it. It doesn't mean it can't work. There are lots of different styles that people have. There are lots of different methods that people have. And most importantly, like I've been saying, there's lots of different routes people will take to get from point A to point B. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, no, Shimmy, I was in a call and they said that I should do the comparison of my t-shirts to other people's t-shirts, go for it. Give it a go. I wouldn't do it based on my experience. And that's just the way I would do it. And obviously, I'm only going to share what I'm going to do and what's working for me and what I've tested. I'm not going to share something that I haven't tested because that would be speculatory, right? I don't want to speculate what can work, because if I speculate what can work, what I'm doing there is I'm testing your money. I'm basically, okay, so to put this simply, let's say I've got $1,000 to spend on Facebook ads to run a test, right? So that's going to go and that's going to test this good versus bad, right? So good versus bad. Let's say I run that test and it ends up not working out. I have spent my own $1,000 and now I can say confidently that didn't work for me. I don't recommend it for you either, right? And you don't have to spend your money. I've spent the $1,000, so I've saved you $1,000 having to run that test. On the flip side, if I said to you let's say I didn't do the test now, let's just say I said to you, give it a go. Do the good versus bad on your website. Maybe it can work. What happens is you now spend $1,000 testing it and you now figure out if it was good or if it was bad. And let's say it didn't end up being good. you've now spent your $1,000. I don't want that to happen. I don't want you to have to spend your money. I want to spend the advertising money doing the testing, and then I can help you figure out how to get there the best way without you having to spend the money. I would prefer that your money is more optimized, and it goes on ads that have a higher chance of getting sales, right? That's the way I look at it. Now, I'm not saying other people are doing that. What I'm saying is maybe other people also spent $1,000, and for them, it ended up being a successful test, which is why they're recommending it. The people that I can't get on board with are people who recommend something without actually having done it. And what ends up happening is you spend a lot of money, you waste a lot of money running that test. Okay, the whole idea of having a coach, of having someone to help you out, having someone in your corner or having a community in your corner is so that you can avoid wasting money. We're here to help you save money. As silly as it sounds, like you're like, I'm spending money on your community. How is it saving me money? Well, all of these tests and all of these suggestions and all these things that people recommend are coming off thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of tests. And that's the way I look at it, right? I want to recommend something to you based on actual data, not based on, what I think, but based on what I know from data that I've received. That's the way I see it. Okay, let's move on now and have a look at the actual demo store, because I know you're waiting to see that. We've gone through all the other things now. We reveal the actual URL of this store, by the way, in the Design Hub, so you can really explore it. You can go and you can mess around. The Design Hub is my community. You should definitely check it out. The link is down below. There is some incredibly, well, not some, there is a hell of a lot of incredibly valuable information there. There's amazing people in there helping everyone grow. And of course, I'm in there every single day as well, helping you grow. But yeah, we released the store URL. For now, let's just have a look at the website. So this is the homepage. It's really, really, really simple. Okay, let me just zoom out a little bit. There you go. You've got a simple banner at the top. Let me zoom in. We've got a simple banner at the top, and this banner is a very good incentive for people. So free shipping on orders over $75, right? We have a simple menu. Home, shop now, contact, and about us, right? Very, very simple. We have a clickable banner. So everywhere on this banner, not just the shop now, everywhere is clickable, okay? And then we have our best-selling collection, right? We have our best-selling on our homepage because obviously we want people to kind of buy. And these have been proven based on data to sell the most. Now, truth be told, very few people will see your homepage because when they go from an ad, the funnel, and I go through the funnel later, but the funnel goes from ad all the way to a collection page. And I'm going to show you the collection page in a minute, but the collection page is basically the shop now over there. Okay, so not many people see the homepage. People who see the homepage are those that kind of are on the collection page and then browse back, or repeat customers who are coming back to your website. Okay, the shop now, i.e. our collection page. We use custom collections for various parts of the site. So again, this is our demo store. This is based off of our winning store that gets up to 8% conversion rate. And when you're starting out, I recommend having a simple shop now button, right? So the shop now on the banner that you saw goes to this shop now page. And on top of that, this shop all on the home page underneath bestsellers also goes to this shop now. It all leads to one place. And then here we have all of our products and we have them organized by bestseller. So you can see here it says organized by featured. So featured just means we've picked the order ourselves and we've put in the bestsellers. You can also have it organized by bestseller, but there's a reason why we do featured, because some designs are new or some designs are getting a lot of clicks on Facebook, but maybe they haven't yet got sales. So we'll kind of put them in the top there. Now, when starting out, please, please, please stick to just one page. Don't have various collections. Don't have like a best-selling collection or a this collection or that collection. So let's say you're in the cycling niche, right? Don't have a collection for road bikes, BMX, mountain bike, whatever it may be. Like don't have all these different collections, just have them pulled together. And if you're really working on a singular niche and you've done that part of the job really well, and if you think of the funnel, right, where you've got, so that's a terrible funnel, right, where you've got niche, design, and then store. If you've done the niche part of the job well and there's no holes there, then the next step is designs and then obviously store, right? So if you've done your niche well, your designs should all fit into that one audience. And if you've done your designs well, you should be able to put it in a single collection page on your website. So it all kind of cascades into the next. Okay, so you want to have one page with all of your products. So here again, 43 products. Of course, it's just because it's the demo store. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of products on our main store. Okay, so try not to have various different like drop down. Okay, keep your site really, really simple. Just 2 extra pages are needed. 2, and that's at the beginning. You want a 3rd extra page when you have a page that's all your reviews. But again, as we spoke about reviews earlier, we don't want reviews just yet. You want a simple and very, very easy, straightforward contact us page. You want people to know that they can reach out to you. And when they do reach out to you, please respond to them. You want to have good customer service here. And then you want to have a very simple about us page. And this about us page can share a little bit about the brand. If you want it to have a personal touch, you can have a picture of yourself. You can say, you know, your home, your family brand or whatever. You can share your passion. So let's say it's cycling. I can have a picture of me with my road bike and I can share how I'm passionate about cycling. I've been cycling for 12 years. You know, I can say I've cycled from London to New York. I haven't, but I can say whatever you have done. You can say how passionate you are about cycling and you just really wanted to make a cycling brand that spoke to other cyclists. And it would make people realize that this is not just a random shill of a company just selling some t-shirts. It will make people realize that this is actually a passionate individual who loves design, who loves cycling, who wants to sell their t-shirts. And that's what we want to go for here. We want to build that kind of brand, a brand built on passion. And then we've got our product page. So of course you can click any of these product pages, right? And it leads to this, a very, very basic product page where you can see here, we've got the size chart. So this is very, very good to kind of reduce refunds and returns. You've got the title, you've got the price, size chart, colors, sizing, bundles, and then our bright green add to cart. Now this title, it's not like Etsy. You don't need to have like this title full of keywords. You know, it's a good day to ride, cycling t-shirt for mums and dads and brothers and aunts, makes the perfect gift. That's Etsy. That's when you're like keyword stuffing. You don't need to do that here. You just need it to look like a real website. So it's a good day to ride. Bam, it's a good day to ride. We then have, let me zoom in for you. We then have our bundle. Now we have our bundle front and center before the add to cart, because if we have the bundle after the add to cart, they've added to the cart before they see the bundle, right? Their eyes will kind of start here. Their eyes will start over here at the design, and then it will kind of work its way down, right? That's what we want. And the bundle is obviously very good because they see that they're like, oh, $2 off if I get 2, 3 if I get 3, 4. Okay, brilliant, cool. And they add one to cart, and they add another, and they add another, right? We've then got our 30-day guarantee, our fast shipping, and our free returns. Just 3 major key points. We've tested different kind of incentives here, and these 3 have converted the best for us. People like fast shipping, people like free returns, and people like a 30-day guarantee. We then have our description, our washing instructions, and our shipping and returns. The description is very, very short. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of the drop down, but it's very, very, very short. It's just a couple of bullet points. That's it. We then have the washing instructions. Obviously, this is how to wash the item. And we say, obviously, wash it inside out. We say various things, and we do this because we want people to realize we care. We want you to have a good product, and we need you to follow these instructions in order for you to have your product last a long time. And then shipping and returns. We like to make this very, very clear and very simple. We say how long it takes, so 7 days, and then plus X amount of days or whatever. And then we say returns. This is what you can do for returns. You can contact us at this email if you want to return. Again, we're only sharing what people need to know in order to have a good experience. We're not sharing fluff, okay? And then underneath all of that, we have customers also bought, and this is great for increasing our AOV because they add to cart, and then the cart kind of pops out over here. So the cart will pop out like this, and then we'll have our cart with our progress bar, our ad product, and then our actual products that we've got in our cart, and then it will slide away, and we can add more products, okay? And these are based, so we do it 2 ways. We have done it 2 ways. The way we're currently doing it now is based on Shopify's algorithm. So because we've had like tens of thousands of sales, it's very easy for us to allow Shopify's algorithm to actually tell them what was bought together, because clearly that works. But if you're just starting out and you don't have that sales volume, you can just pick what you think customers will like to buy together. We then have this at the bottom, very simple, right? And again, that just adds a layer of trust there. And that's brilliant, right? Let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, moving on. We've spoken about this a little bit already in this video, but always check for mobile optimization. 94%, yeah, it was 94%, I remember. 94% of our traffic comes from mobile, so always design for mobile first. Make sure your site is mobile friendly. So this is what our site looks like on a mobile. This is our product page. Okay, very simple. A nice big image. We've got the other colors here. If you wanted to, by the way, you can remove this. We've tested both and it both work really well. You can remove that, and what happens is you just have one image there, right? And then when they click another color, so let's say they click the gray one, this image updates to the gray one, right? And that way, by removing this, you kind of squeeze everything up a little bit. So It's a Good Day to Ride moves up, and then everything moves up, and suddenly the add to cart button is not so far away. So sometimes if you can fit your sizes, so let's say we went up to 3XL, right? Your sizes was on one line, the bundle and save would be moved up, everything would be moved up, and the add to cart would be before the fold, which is really good. Okay, so then obviously we've got the add to cart, we've got all of this stuff, and it's all very simple. It's very easy. It's a nice scroll. People are used to scrolling because that's what they're doing on Facebook ads, right? They're just scrolling. So we want to keep the nice continuous scroll. We don't want people scrolling to the left or to the right. We want to keep that downward scroll all the way to the add to cart. Okay. The next thing, you want to make it really easy for customers to buy. Okay, simple product pages and simple checkout process helps make it easier for customers to buy. So here's an example of our cart. Okay, so here you go. The cart's in the top right corner. So this is what the website looks like, right? You've got the add to cart, and then you've got the cart over there in the corner. So you select a product, you select the color. So you select the product color, you select the size, you add to cart, and then our cart is it comes out like a slide, right? That's the cart you want. That's the cart that converts better. Again, that's what converts better for me. I've tested both with significant amount of money, and that's converted better. And on top of that, that's converted better for most people in my community, right? And then this cart doesn't have it. For some reason, it didn't pop up. But this is where the progress bar will show, and this is where the add other products will show. And then obviously, this, what you're seeing here, will just be a little bit further down. If they've got multiple products, it will just look like that, and the total, and then checkout. You can see how the checkout is the same color as our add to cart. Uses checkout, and then we have a simple built-in checkout page. We do the 3-page option. Again, there's a 1-page variation and a 3-page variation with Shopify. We've tested both. The 3-page works better for us. It works better for the people in our community, which is why we recommend it. But again, go through all of that, and then the button is the same color. Again, you might think this button being the same color is stupid, it's irrelevant, but it's just a psychological thing. They spot that color, they're used to that color, and they associate buying with that color. So when they click that color, they will automatically be looking for that color again at the next step, which they'll find immediately. And when they click that color twice, they're going to be looking for that color again to buy, which they are psychologically doing, right? It's just happening. So how does checkout appear on mobile? So again, it's very mobile optimized. You've got the order summary, and it's just a nice scroll. And if they've got Shop Now, or they've got PayPal or Apple Pay or any of these things, that all pops up at the top. The reason why this isn't showing it is because this is the demo store, so I haven't fully set up payments on the demo store. But yeah, so if we have a look at the entire customer flow, so the entire customer funnel, they'll see an ad. And by the way, this obviously is just a mock-up, but the ad will have information over here, it will have a heading over here, and it will have a Shop Now button over here, right? So they'll see the ad will take them, let me zoom in for you. The ad will take them to the collection page, right? So the collection page, they'll see all of the products, and you may be thinking, why on earth am I seeing all the products? I don't want to show them all the products. I want to show them this product. Well, the reason we do that, again, from a lot of testing, but the reason we show them all the products is because we want them to add multiple to their basket. So if they see this, they'll immediately spot it here. They don't have to search to find it. They'll spot it, but then what they'll also spot is this one, and 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 all the others. And what that will lead to is, oh, I like that, but I also like that, and I like that one. I'm going to add these 3 to my basket, and all of a sudden, you've gone from 1 to 3 products being ordered from one customer. If you send them directly to the product page, yes, the conversion rate might increase slightly, but the AOV drops drastically, and overall from our tests we found that it actually lost more money. So after the collection page, they click one and they go to the product page, right? And once they go to the product page, they click add to cart, it the drawer comes out, they click checkout, and they go and they actually check out. Now, a couple of things to note which are very important. This is the ad that they saw, and this is the product that they saw. So this is the same product, as you can see. A big bottleneck that I see is where the product that they're advertising is on like page 14. So they come to the website, they go to the collection page, and they are looking for this product and they can't find it. So they click next, they click next, they keep clicking next, they click next to all the pages, and they can't find it and they give up. And that happened to us at the very early stages. We had a product doing so well on Facebook. It was getting cheap cost per clicks. It was performing really well, but it was getting no sales. And we just were like, what the hell is going on? This product is getting like 25 cents cost per click. It's doing amazing. Why is no one buying? And then we went to our product page and we realized it was on the last page. It was on page 8. And no one was getting to page 8. As soon as we then organized by featured and we moved the product to the number 1 spot, the sales blew up. And it became our best selling product. It's done over $100,000. Just one single t-shirt done over $100,000. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so that's what the funnel looks like that the customer will go through, right? Now, a couple of things. We have made a full step-by-step dashboard. So in our print on demand community, the design hub, right, the community that I'm in every single day, we've created a dashboard where you can follow. This dashboard is not just for Shopify, it's for the entire business, the niche, design, website, everything, branding, all of it. But the Shopify one, this is what it looks like. So if you're looking to build a Shopify store based on, this template and based on what works, you can have access to this dashboard. And not only can you have access to this dashboard, this is just a minimized view of the dashboard. If you open each of these are the steps. It's a lot of steps. It's a hell of a lot of steps, but don't let that scare you. It shouldn't be there to scare you. The reason why there's so many steps is because I've broken it down by every single step and given you a description of each step. So if it's like, click this button and make the opacity 12%, then change color to this, and it's literally step by step. It could not get more detailed than this, and that's what we have in the Design Hub community, as well as many other things. So this is the Design Hub community. If you haven't seen it, it's a really, really awesome print on demand community. It's where I live at this point. And in there, you've got a very active community. You've got a step-by-step class where we go over niche, design, store, with a lot of new stuff coming as well. We try and add a new resource or a new piece of training every single week and a new section every single month. So it's pretty big. We've got personalized feedback. So at every step of the way, design, niche, store, whatever it is, you can share your feedback and I will make a personalized loom for you, as will one of the coaches. You've got a packed calendar, tons of live calls. You've got members all over the world, which is really cool. So it's nice to always have someone online. And it's just a really, really, really awesome place to be. So if you want to skip the noise, you want to go and you really want to streamline your business and get as much help as you possibly can from me, then definitely go and check out the Design Hub. The link will be down below in the description. And yeah, I hope this video helped you. There's so much that you can do to increase your sales with your website, but, and this is a very, very, very important but, and I'm going to draw this out for you, okay? Always remember the funnel. It starts with niche, it goes to design, and then store, and your ads is the water kind of gushing out, and then it comes out the bottom as sales. So remember this, it's very, very, very important. If you do everything I've told you in this video and your store ticks every single box and your store becomes an amazing store, if you haven't done niche right and you've got holes here, and you haven't done design right and you've got holes here, this water coming in is going to fall out the sides before it even makes it to your store. So it doesn't matter if you improve your store. You've got to start by making sure your niche is the best it can be. You've got to make sure your designs is the best it can be. Then you focus on your store, which is why I built this community, because this community goes into more detail than any other community on the planet about niche, design, and then eventually store. So definitely check it out if you're interested, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.